Greetings and welcome, ladies and gentlemen, back to the Gamers Den. Welcome back to Cartoon Asylum. Now, guys, this is a bit of a different topic, and didn't want Frost in this one either because this one is a little more serious. I just, I couldn't have a zany cartoon character with this one, so I decided to send him home now for this one. Um, Now, you may have already looked at the thumbnail, but at the and everything, cartoons versus live action, which which is better? I'm not trying to start a rumble or anything. They both have their merits. I love both of them, but my main point that we're making is cartoons are able to do a little bit more than live action with less risk to the actors. On top of just most, there's a lot more involved with making the characters look right. And these people are super duper passionate. Live action adaptations of certain cartoons don't always land, or live action versions of some properties don't always land. And some characters just do not transition well to live action form. A good example, a very good example of this, I've never really cared for what they've done with Fred in with the original first two. And actually, no, I did like him in those, but I don't with Freddie Prinze Jr., which that was kind of ironic. But it was the other two live action films that I didn't care for. He had darker hair, and they kind of made a mockery of him with the wand and the ascot and everything. Now the ascot is kind of stupid, even in the cartoon, but the character didn't look right. It really didn't. But then you look at Scooby, and more or not, he looked at least somewhat right. It just, it's just translation wise, you know. The Thing, another character that now this one's the exact opposite. If done correctly, the Thing will look exactly like it does in the comics. And I personally like both versions that we've seen. But if I'm going to be honest, I like the original one from the first two films in the early 2000s. But that was done with practical effects. Contrary-wise, I don't think characters like Gollum should ever be used with practical effects. He looks so much better as a realistic animated character. See, keyword here, and realistic animation. This can go one of two ways. It can go horribly wrong, like with Mr. Fantastic, again, and Fantastic, or it can go extremely well, like with most of the MCU. However, animation can get they you get away with a lot more. You can get away with a lot more stunts and everything. All you really have to do, the actors, I mean, all they have to do is bring their voices. Whereas with live action, more often than not, these people have to get in the costumes, um, stay a certain body weight, have their hair parted a specific way. They could come into a recording booth in their pajamas, their hair a mess. All they would have to do is make sure that they could speak well. I've seen quite a few live action movies where it just falls flat, and it's better to watch the animated film. Suicide Squad 2016. This movie did not do well. There's two other movies with the Suicide Squad name that did do extremely well, and these were straight to video. This was Arkham, uh, Batman Arkham Asylum with the tie-in movie that they did with Assault on Arkham, and Suicide Squad Hell to Pay. On top of that, more if not, these movies Both of these movies had way more characters that most people probably don't recognize. And so on and so forth. Disney's been trying to capture lightning out of a bottle twice with their live action movies, to the point where they have a Lion King movie, right? Only the first 5 seconds, the sunrise at the beginning, that's the only thing that's live action. The rest is realistic animation. They can call it live action all they want, but it's animation. And not very good animation, mind you. Not very good at all. It's too realistic. It doesn't look like the characters at all in all these other live action movies. The only ones I think actually worked were the Maleficent movies and the Alice in Wonderland movies, because these movies went with original stories and ideas. But even they fall flat in some areas. The worlds and stunts had to be CGI'd. They were too dangerous or too outlandish. They had to do it. Half the cast of Alice in Wonderland were CGI characters. The other half were digitally enhanced, like the Red Queen had her head expanded. The Tweedles were actually one person but doubled and everything. So it's just the crazy thing is, guys. I know I'm ragging a little bit on live action, but I actually do I do like live action. It's just in the past 20 years alone, animation has advanced. There's so much room to grow and change. Live action, it's kind of peaked. They know all the techniques. They know all the best ways to make it look like the character or tell a specific story. And yes, there are movies and shows that are they don't need any CGI to even put in something in there. The best they'll go into a computer is the editing software to make the stitch it Frankenstein style the movie together. But there are certain characters that just do not translate well to live action. Most of the cast of Disney, the Looney Tunes, I sure as hell hope they never bring Bugs Bunny as a real life character with practical effects, because that's gonna look like Michael Myers. That will cringe. Yikes. However, at the same time, some characters don't really translate well to live action. The Incredibles, for instance. I don't think those characters should be live action. They're just their powers and their weird abilities. I mean, for God's sake, one of the main characters is a baby, and baby characters are extremely hard to get right. They're extremely difficult and can extend periods of filming. Animals are also really hard to work with, which is why I don't think Scooby Doo should ever be made into a practical effective dog. It's just like babies, kids, and animals should never be live action characters. Like, and everything. And weird animated characters should never be brought into live action as well. It's just, they're extremely difficult to get right. Contrary-wise, some live action just doesn't work in animation. Some some stuff might. Resident Evil. Resident Evil isn't scary. I watched some of these films, and whereas these games are terrifying. I've never played them, but I've seen them, and they're really scary looking. But these are animated, sort of. They're digitally animated, but they're still really, really scary. Well, to me at least. The movies, now I'm a chicken ass. I'll admit that. The movies just, especially the first one, yeah, it made me go, whoa! I'm just like, I'm not scared, just disgusted and appalled. Which is to say, not horrified at all. Just disgusted, just like, ooh, and just like amazed that they managed to pull off something so good in some cases. Another, and like I said, characters like like the Incredibles, and, and let's face it, the cast of Inside Out, especially Bing Bong, should never have a character in live action form. It's just not gonna look right. It's never gonna look right. Some things should stay in one realm and others in another. You can get away with a lot more in animation. You can get away with a lot more outlandish concepts. Live action keeps it more based on reality. In the end, you gotta pick your poison. You know, red vial or red pill or blue pill. You know, which one are you gonna take? Gonna go with live action? Or you gonna go with the animation? Now there are movies that blend it seamlessly together. You got Who Framed Roger Rabbit and Space Jam. These have blend live action people with animated cartoons. But these movies are few and far between. Some of them work, some of them don't. Sometimes they use a digital editing to make a specific shot work. Like in Game of Thrones, when dude gets his neck chopped off, he doesn't actually get his head chopped off. The head you see get chopped off before it starts rolling, there's a digital head there. Then it transitions to the next shot. Likewise with the MCU, Hulk, Iron Man, when he's in his suit, actually flying around in it, or a Chitauri from the first Avengers film, are all animated, if you couldn't already tell. But sometimes there are subtle little differences that, if you've been around animation long enough, you can actually spot where it's animated and when it's not. It's Captain America Civil War. When Tony clicks the glasses, in that split second, he transforms from real to CGI, as well as the gauntlet. The gauntlet's obvious, or at least it would be, if it didn't look so realistic. That gauntlet he puts on isn't there. None of it's there. And when he clicks the glasses to make the stuff appear, that's when that turns digital too. Thor's helmet, as soon as he flicks it up in Thor Ragnarok, boom, that thing is now CGI. But you wouldn't know it unless you looked at the bonus features or you're like me and have seen this crap numerous times enough to be able to spot specific easy peasy little details and most people would just gloss over. Now, animation, excuse me, animation for movies and television is one thing. What about video games? Animation is used for 95% of all video games. Some of them do use motion capture, but these games are usually notorious for being either weird, bad, or in the rare occasion, like some of the Mortal Kombat's, really excellent. They're a mixed bag of nuts. You just hope you get a cashew and not a hard ass and not a burnt walnut. Simple as that. But when they're animated really well, even a cartoonish game like the Lego games can look like they could pop to life nowadays. That's how good it is nowadays. Animation is getting to the point where even cartoonish characters like Mickey Mouse, Bugs Bunny, and Rick Sanchez could eventually pop into the real world and blend seamlessly in. Cartoonish, out there characters like Crash Bandicoot are starting to look more and more realistic, even with their cartoonish, out there designs. That's why I was amazed with the Alvin and Chipmunk movies. the chipmunks actually looked like the chipmunks just brought to life. And same goes for Scooby Doo. This character is notoriously more cartoonish than the other cast members. So they see him brought to life not once, but 4 times, and all of it pretty on par, is amazing. Well, like I say, guys, pick your poison. You either go live action or you go with cartoons. Doesn't matter which. But don't say one don't say one is bad just because it isn't what you like. Contrary-wise, don't say something's good and force it on someone either. Neither way is good. That's why I'll probably never watch Joker. I got told it was so good. It's so good. Even though you should watch it, you shouldn't judge it by the trailers. But that's what I do. Trailer doesn't hook you in, guys. You don't have to watch it, even though this movie got a lot of money. It's got some awards. That's the thing, guys. I don't want it. You know? It doesn't look good to me. So I'm not gonna watch it. Contrary-wise, I try not to push movies that I love or shows to my parents anymore. Because I know they're not gonna watch them anytime soon. Zootopia. That is an awesome ass film. But I pushed them too far. I don't think they're ever gonna watch it. It's fine. I'm okay with it. I stopped pushing it. They pushed Stranger Things on me, guys. I'm willing to give it a second shot, but I watched the first 6 episodes. Didn't care for it because people kept pushing it on me. So you got to so whether you're on animation or live action, you don't push it. Just don't push it on other people. They're gonna resent you for suggesting it, and they're gonna hate it upon watching it, regardless if it's good or not. You just let them watch it on their own. They might actually enjoy it. Maybe not as much as you, but they will enjoy it. But with that in mind, guys, I hope you all enjoyed the video. And be sure to like, subscribe, ring the bell for notifications. It does help. Go back and look at some of our older stuff and look at some of our newer stuff. Go down in the comments down below and tell me what you think of live action, animation, and some of your favorite movies and shows that you love. And hopefully, I'll see you guys in the next video. It's been the Gamers Den. Y'all been awesome. I love each and every one of you. So, please help us grow this channel. And I'll see you all in the next video. Bye.